molweni. Welcome to a new day. For many of us, there has been no day like this before. It's a very special day. It is Africa Day. It's for the first time in the 21 years of democracy and freedom that South Africa elevates or pushes up Africa Day to what it has become. It's taken us 21 years. I was speaking to the minister now the other day, and he told me that out of 54 African countries, after 52 years of the existence of the African Organization of African Unity, which is now known as the AU, less than 5 have declared Africa Day an official holiday. It's a serious indictment in terms of what we want to achieve as Africans. But there is no doubt that Africa is calling. Every morning when we wake up, we get a call from Africa. Who are you? Do we know who we are? And why are you here? Why were you born an African? Do we know an answer to that? And then when Africa calls, she also wants to know, Rizwako weekending, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, in those hours, what have you done to move Africa forward in your individual life? Well, I'm here in my capacity as a writer. I brought out a book. It's titled Zenzele, Young, Gifted, and Free. It was published last year. I published it myself because as a typical black writer, you write your story and you give it to white people, and they decide whether your book is going to be published or not. And in most instances, if basadumelane with what you have to say, they decline your book, they send you a rejection slip. But I felt that this book is very important. And I believe that in all my life, this is all I wanted to do, to write a book that will be directed, targeted at young black people like you, teaching them how to take responsibility for what happens in your individual life. Because I'm sure you'll agree with me, we all want to see Africa change, right? But if you want to change Africa, you must change the individual, the one person. But again, if you want to change the one individual, you must change the mind. Kelelo ingqondo. That's how you change the individual. But now, if you change the mind, you change the behavior and the attitude, right? And then when you change the behavior and the attitude where people relate to each other in terms of respect and dignity and love, you change Africa. You get the logic? Ukufa kwengqondo, ukufa komuntu, ukufa komuntu, ukufa komndeni, ukufa komndeni, ukufa komphakathi. There is that golden thread that connects the individual to the family, the community, and the society at large. So this book is aimed at young black minds. When I came up with it, I was made to change the title to be positive, which is Zenzele, Young, Gifted, and Free. I'm sure people are aware of a very popular song, Young, Gifted, and Black. So I changed that slightly to young, gifted, and free. Because it's said that after 21 years, we have people who still believe that they are not free. We are free. Even under oppression, people have got their freedom in their hands, at least a measure of it. So the book's intention is to give skills, mental skills to young black people to think positively about their lives, to specifically take responsibility for everything that happens to you. If you get 38% in whatever subject, don't blame the teacher, don't blame the parent, don't blame the school without windows, blame yourself, take responsibility for that. Because there could be someone in the same class who gets 78%, and how do you explain the difference? All right? So the book's message is about, for Africa to be free, Africans must learn to take self-responsibility at an early age. Because there is one thing that needs to happen. Yes, we come from a legacy, a history of colonialism of a special type in South Africa, of apartheid, racism, capitalism, patriarchy, oppression, exploitation. Yes, that is there. But at the end of the day, the individual must squeeze out the slave out of their bodies, out of their spirits. The individual must make sure that they get rid of this victim identity, where you don't take responsibility for yourself, but you want to blame outside factors, you know? You must believe in yourself, Hori. The fact that there is poverty, there is unemployment, there is degradation doesn't stop you from being the person that you want to be. There are countless examples in our society today of people who come from our kind of background and they have achieved to be respectable African people who wield power in the world. Now, we were the first country in the continent to wage what we can call a liberation struggle. We were the last country to be free. But within 21 years of our freedom, we have emerged as one of the most powerful countries in the African continent and the world. Now, how do such people see themselves as powerless, as victims? We've got to change the way we look at ourselves, and that is the idea in the book. As an individual, you need to have dreams. You need to have a personal vision and a goal. And it's important to know that there is absolutely nobody or nothing that will stop you from achieving your goals but yourself. I've always been fascinated by the story of someone like Usimpiwe Dana, who comes from the Eastern Cape. Very poor area, but rich in culture, and she left to come to Johannesburg to be what she wanted to be, and today she's one of Africa's leading songstresses, if I can call her that. Now, here is an example of an individual who has taken responsibility for who she wanted to be, and that is what Africa requires of us, and that is the message that you find in this book. Because it is only when we are dreamers that we can move Africa forward. So as you are sitting here, you need to begin to think about who are you and what is your dream. Now, you need to connect your identity, your dream, your ambition to your schoolwork. And you need to connect that to your behavior and your attitude. Because 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now, what you are doing here and now is what is going to give us the end result of what you will have been doing. So believe in yourself. The power to change your own individual life is in you. That is what I was taught by my mother, who was a domestic worker all her life. My father was what you would call a messenger all his life. But they said to me, go to school, discover yourself. And when I was in school, I said I wanted to become a journalist and a writer. And I am that. And I'm not going to listen to anyone who tells me that I am not successful because maybe I don't live in a golf estate, or I don't drive an X5, or I don't wear designer clothes. I am successful because when I was 18, I had a goal. And when I look back at my life, I have fulfilled that goal. And this book is exactly about that. You will be who you choose to be. You see, much as we are from the rural areas and we're from the townships, we do not have to end there, you know? You can be anything you want to be. Now, the township or ghetto is not the location itself. It's a state of mind, a self-destructive, self-annihilating, negative, poisonous attitude where you don't respect yourself and you don't respect others. Well, that is a ghetto mentality, and there is absolutely nothing to celebrate about that. So it doesn't matter where you come from, it's where you are going that is important. Now, the important thing to know is apartheid or no apartheid, freedom or no freedom, the rules for success, and this is what is in the book, do not change. The rules for success do not change. If you want to be successful, learn to be hardworking. Uzoyithola kanjani uhlele khoneni? Or uphuza isayida esporting? Learn to work hard. Make every hour of your life count. Now, you need to be disciplined to do that. And being disciplined means you will know what you need to do and what you don't need to do. But above all, you need to focus. It doesn't matter whether you are in China, in India, in Europe, in Africa, the rules for success don't change. It's those three things that you need: hard work, discipline, focus. Now, it doesn't change. And the people with those qualities are easily identifiable. You can see them. Now, Kokazi Batlari, who? Ujabu, ori umpo uyazicabangela. Why nakhane? But when you are a person, an individual, who else but yourself should think for yourself? Now, most of the time, they don't necessarily look down on others. They're very clear about who they are and where they are going, and they do not want time wasters in their company. All right. So, that's the message in the book. Yes, we come from overcrowded homes, from a matchbox house in Deep Kloof, Soweto. Sometimes there would be 13 of us, and we squeeze. I come from a crime-ridden community because you'll always find criminals, right? And then, of course, poverty. But you've got to go to school, right? But here am I, and here we are, beautiful black people. So, I'm mentioning this because most of the time it's not what happens to you that is important. It's how you react to it, how you as an individual deals with that. Because the things that happen to black people in the townships in South Africa, worse things are happening to your counterparts, your peers in other parts of the continent, in America itself, in the UK, in China, and in India. So what exactly are you complaining about? And when one says so, I'm not saying let's condone or overlook or ignore the injustice and inequality that is in our life. But we've got to deal with the facts of life. Hori, whilst you are busy moaning and complaining and protesting, life goes on, it moves forward. Tomorrow, you're going to be a day older, and then in a year, you're going to be a year older. What will you have been doing to move your own life forward, and as a result, move your own country and your continent? So the book is about how do you actually translate yourself into that kind of individual who takes control of your life.
From Nesipiwe Dana, a round of applause for her. Have a little talk about inheritance as an African child, and I believe that the Michael Mako representative. We can do a round of applause for Ntantando.
And by speaking that it's quite difficult, if not impossible, to speak to a crowd that is not happy. So allow me to actually, if you fail to actually recognize and realize your inheritance. But again, it's impossible for you to have a proper and a powerful reference that will actually, watching my peers with school uniforms, it pains me because yet physically I was dressed. Now, it is a danger to be physically dressed, yet express myself in English. Not until I was exposed to books. Hence, my living motto to books will afford you to dress the content of your mind. So now, again, in what you are doing, you will fail. It will be inevitable for you to fail because now there is no love involved. The reason why a mother is hating her or his children, it is because she loves them. So now, Nati, there is an instrument that we use in black communities and in black societies. It is called Imbaola. But one thing you need to realize about Imbaola is that it was never meant to be beautiful. The reason Imbaola is to bring heat and warmth during winter season. So it is to bring warmth and heat during winter season. So winter season, we understand that it is a very dangerous and a very uncomfortable season in our lives. But if we can understand our peoples and understand that exist before our disposals, in particular in relation to xenophobia, that you are in, it will be easy for you to partake and participate in things like xenophobia. I believe that xenophobia, it is the highest level of stupidity and the highest level of ignorance. Who can, and anything and everything that is at the bottom, it was meant to be the foundation. And the other thing we need as Africans is to have a proper way of seeing things. We need to be vision. Now, I would love to remind you that. So the word successful in itself, it is just a word. The word work hard, it is just a word. But you need to be disciplined and committed in everything and anything. I am not an academic by nature, but I've devoted myself to being the student of life, because now my references, hence I've said, you need to check who's your reference. I have the audacity and have the courage to say, I am not a failure because I have a strong reference. My reference is Ndate Steve Bantubiko, my reference is Robert Sobukwe, my reference is Patrice Lumumba, my reference are my parents. So now in everything or whenever you are tempted to give up, check your reference and ask yourself, how would they respond if they were in this situation? So a weaker reference will actually afford you a weaker life. But a strong reference will give you the courage and the strength to move on and say to yourself, it's not over until you win. Read us today, lead us tomorrow. Asante sana. God bless Africa.
Yeah. May we please have a... Is he here? the interfaith community. In just a bit, as soon as we can find you. Okay, so.
Kawe wamaqhawe. Nine nalwela umzabalazo. Zwekaze lihle. Loju nezinyosi. Zwela se-Afrika. Wawungazange ube intandane. Wawungazange ube mbulali. Abantu bebazwana. Mu-Afrika omuhle. Sibiza wonke amaqhawe. Lalele khona. Naba nabaholi. Enibanika amandla. Uthi baliphathe lelizwe. Siyacela ke kini. Akube kuhle namhlanje. Siphumile zela. Singama-Afrika. Singabantu. Uquzelani bomkhulu. Siphena amandla. Singakhethi ibala. Simuntu. Simunye. Siyanicela nokulanele khona. Jabulani nonke. Nazi inhlupheko. Nalu bandlululo. Abantu abafunani. Abantu bayabulalana. Sibenza nina. Kwenze njani? Ezweni labokhokho. Buyephi ubuntu? Ezweni labokhokho. Ngabe indlala na? Ngabe kuswela umsebenzi na? Okwenza sibe mabhubesi. Bomkhulu abagogo. Khanyisani. Leli langa. Phana baphatha amandla. Sibiza wonke amadlozi. Asiwashi ngaphandle. Yonke imihlobo. Akube kuhle. Shona ezithunywa. Akube kuhle. Nawo ngaphezulu. Nguwophethe. Mlonze munye. Mveli nqangi. Akube kuhle. Usisa lo msebenzi.
We have a very simple work of welcoming you all to the wonderful city of Tshwane. We welcome all those who organized this, from those who attended the conference of African unity that has been taking place during the past few days. We welcome the organizers of this event, the Department of Science and Technology, Tshwane University of Technology, University of Johannesburg, HSRC, UNISA, Brand South Africa, NRF, ICSU, we welcome our honorable ambassadors and high commissioners, and we welcome the business and religious leaders. We welcome the media. We welcome the senior government officials that may be here. We welcome all the delegates of the 5th African Unity Conference, and we welcome you all, ladies and gentlemen. From the office, from the Tshwane municipality, we really would like to welcome you to the city of Tshwane, which is greatly honored to welcome you to this second leg of the event that has been made possible by all that have been mentioned. We feel that this Expo and the conference that has passed will accelerate cultural exchanges, promote our local economy, and expose us to the rich heritage of Africa to the world. As I've said before, we just had the conference that was held in the University of Johannesburg, and that deliberated on Agenda 2063. And this was attended by most African countries, and delegates came also from across the globe. And delegates were scholars, were academics, were researchers, were individuals with interest in Africa and Africa's agenda for unity. Today, we are celebrating Africa Day through this Expo, and we take note that there are various celebrations taking place all over Africa and also here in South Africa. Indeed, this event will help build human bridges and extend the age of hope. I would therefore like to wish you all the best, and those of you who made also this event possible. I hope that we will all have a memorable Expo and continue to enjoy the hospitality, the clear blue skies, and the beautiful landscape of our friendly city, the city of Tshwane, the capital city of South Africa. I would also like to say, in closing, that for the city of Tshwane, we take pride in the concept of sustainability, and particularly we would like to express this not only in the city of Tshwane, but throughout the African Conference. I would like to mention that to this end, the city of Tshwane will be hosting the Africa Capital City Sustainability Forum from the 23rd to the 25th of June 2015.